Hello everyone. I hope you all are safe at your home. Myself Goldie Dhal from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group, Kota. And today in this video, we are going to revise 3 chapters of English grammar, that is present tense, past tense and future tense from your final exams portion. So let's begin with tenses. So what are tenses? Okay, before starting the chapters, I want to explain you what are tenses. So there are 3 types of tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. Now, what is present tense? Present tense denotes or expresses the time of an action which is going on in the present at the time of speaking, or it happens in a present or a current time. So it is present tense. Now, what is past tense? Past tense expresses time or denotes an action which happens or took place in past. Okay, when we are talking about some past activity or past incident which took place in past and ends there only, then it is past tense. Now what is future tense? Okay, now if we are talking about an incident which has not happened yet and it will take time in future, okay, it will take action in future, then it is a future tense. So these are your 3 tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. Now I am going to give you an example before starting the chapters. Now, he bakes he bakes a yummy cake. Now, in this sentence, this is in present tense. How can we say that this is in present tense? Because we are using here first form of verb, bakes. Okay, and that is why we can say that this sentence is in present tense. Okay, he bakes a yummy cake. It is his habit to bake a yummy cake every time. Okay, so this is a present tense. Okay, now we are going to convert this sentence into past tense. Now, how we can change this sentence into past tense? We have to change verb. Okay, so this verb, first form of verb, it will change into second form of verb. Okay, now it will change into baked. Okay, now bakes is changed into baked. He baked a yummy cake. So he baked a yummy cake yesterday. Okay, so it is an example of past tense. So when you want to change any future tense or present tense into past tense, just use second form of verb. Okay, so this is past tense. Now let's talk about future tense. If we want to change any of these sentences into future tense, what we have to do? We will use will. To make a sentence of future tense, you have to use will with first form of verb. So, he will bake a yummy cake. So, now what we have done? We have changed these verbs to make a future tense sentence of future tense. You have to add will with first form of verb. Okay, so now this sentence is of future tense. So here is a difference, a very big difference in all these sentences. Okay, this is present tense. In present tense, we have to use first form of verb. In past tense, we have to use second form of verb. And in future tense, you have to use will with first form of verb. Okay, so now I think this is clear. So let's begin with our chapter. Okay, now let's start our chapter number 12, that is present tense. Okay, now here we can see that present tense, simple present and present continuous tense. Okay, these two types of present tense we are going to revise here in this chapter. Okay, now let's first talk about simple present tense. Now, where to use simple present tense and how can you identify that the sentence is in simple present form? First of all, simple present tense is always used for a universal truth or for an habitual action, So, for example, if we say the sun rises in the east, okay, the sun rises in the east. Okay, so this is a universal truth and nobody can change this truth. So this sentence is in simple present form of the verb. Okay, so universal truths are always written in simple present. Okay, so this is universal truth and so we have used here simple present form of verb. Now let's talk about a habitual action. For example, Ram goes for a walk every morning. Ram goes for a walk every morning. Okay, now this is a simple present form of verb, this. Okay, how can you say that? Okay, Ram goes for a walk every morning. Now it is his habit. Okay, it is his habit to go for a walk every morning. So whenever there is a habit, okay, first identify the sentence, and whenever there is a habit or habitual action is taking place in the sentence, it means that is a simple present tense sentence. Okay, so whenever a sentence is using a universal truth or a habitual action, then that sentence is in simple present tense. Okay, now let's talk about present continuous tense. Okay, before starting present continuous tense, I am going to explain you structure for simple present tense. Now, what is the structure of simple present tense? Subject plus first form of verb and rest of the sentence. Now let's talk about present continuous tense. Now what is present continuous tense? Present continuous tense is a form of a verb which is used at the time of speaking. Okay, now while someone is speaking and the action is taking place, that is called present continuous tense. Now I am giving you an example. Okay, so example is she is dancing on the stage. Okay, see here, she is dancing on the stage. So this action is taking place at the time of speaking, and that is why it is present continuous tense. Okay, is dancing is present continuous tense, and this is helping verb and this is main verb. Now let's see structure of present continuous tense. So structure of present continuous tense is your subject plus is, am, are plus verb plus ing. Okay, and rest of the sentence. So this is the structure. Keep in your mind subject plus is, am, are plus first form of verb and ing. Now where to use is, where to use am, and where to use are. Now when your subject is singular, okay, when your subject is singular, you have to use with singular subject, you have to use is plus first form of verb plus ing. Whenever your subject is plural, if your subject is plural, plural subject plus are plus verb plus ing, and if your subject is I, okay, if your subject is I, always remember that you have to use am. Okay, I am plus first form of verb plus ing. So this is the structure for present continuous tense. Now I hope simple present tense and present continuous tense is very clear to you. Now let's move to some exercise. Okay, on page number 51, exercise number A. Okay, open your books on page number 51, exercise number A. Fill in the blanks with the simple present forms of verbs given in the brackets. Okay, now let's take Mrs. Jha. Number 1, Mrs. Jha is a teacher. She dash in Pune Public School. Now here our subject is singular, so we have to convert this teach into teaches. Okay, so answer is teaches. Okay, exercise A, number 1, teaches. Mrs. Jha is a teacher. She teaches in Pune Public School. Okay, now come to number 4, we. Now here subject is plural, we. Okay, so we dash basketball every day. Now here subject is plural, so we will use play as it is. We play. Okay, we play basketball every day. So number 4th is play. Okay, now moving to present continuous tense. Okay, on page number 54, exercise number E. Okay, number 1, we have to convert the given verb into present continuous tense, and how we can change it? By observing our subject. Okay, the children dash themselves on the swings in the park. So here our subject is plural. Okay, so for present continuous tense, as I have told you, whenever our subject is plural, we have to use are plus verb plus ing. So here verb is enjoy, so you have to write are enjoying. Okay, so exercise number E, number 1, it is are enjoying. The children are enjoying themselves on the swings in the park. Now let's see one example of singular subject. Number 6, a cat dash behind the curtain, and the given verb is hide. Now our subject is singular, so we have to use is for present continuous tense with singular subject. A cat is hiding behind the curtain. So the answer is verb plus ing. A cat is hiding behind the curtain. Now I hope present tense is very clear to you. Let's move to past tense. Okay, now let's start our chapter number 13, past tense. Okay, open your book on page number 56, past tense. Now let's talk about past tense. What is past tense? Whenever an action took place in past, okay, that is past tense, or it started there and finished there only. It happened for some little time, okay, and finished there only. Then it is called past tense, simple past and past continuous tense. So here in this chapter, we'll revise simple past tense and past continuous tense. Okay, now let's see one example. Here, I lost my bag yesterday. Okay, here you can see I lost my bag. But when I have lost my bag, I lost my bag yesterday. Okay, we are talking about the day which has gone. We are talking about something or some time of an action which has happened in past. So I lost my bag yesterday. So it is simple past. Okay, because he has lost his bag yesterday only. Okay, we are not talking about today, we are not talking about tomorrow, but here we are talking about yesterday. Okay, an action took place yesterday. So I lost my bag yesterday, and this is a second form of verb. Okay, simple past. Okay, so whenever we are talking about simple past, you have to use second form of verb. Always remember that. Okay, now what is structure? Subject, okay, subject plus second form of verb and rest of the sentence. Okay, this is very easy. Whenever you want to convert a sentence into past tense, or whenever you have to identify whether the sentence is in past, present or future, observe the verb, form of the verb. So if there is second form of verb with subject, it means it is simple past tense. Okay, now let's move to past continuous tense. Okay, now what is past continuous tense? Whenever we are talking about some action which took place, which started in the past, it took some time and it finished there only, then it is called past continuous tense. Okay, for example, she was running on the track. Okay, so this is past continuous tense. Now how can we say that? Because here we are using helping verb which is in past tense. Verb, first form of verb with ing. Okay, was running. Let's see structure of past continuous tense, then it will be very easy for you. Okay, so subject plus was, were plus verb, first form ing. So, and rest of the sentence. Now this is the structure of past continuous tense. Okay, now when to use was and when to use were. Okay, whenever your subject is singular, with singular subject, you will use was plus verb plus ing for past continuous tense. Remember that. Okay, and whenever your subject is plural, plural subject plus were. Okay, whenever your subject is plural, more than one in number, you have to use were for past continuous tense plus verb, first form of verb plus ing. So this is the structure of past continuous tense and this is the structure of simple past tense. Okay, now I hope past tense is also very clear to you all. Let's do some exercise. Okay, come to page number 56, exercise number B. Okay, now sentence number 2, my father dashed me to a movie last week. Okay, now in this sentence what is given there? Last week. Now by reading this last week, we can say this sentence is in past tense. So here in bracket, first form of verb is given take. Now to make it past tense, we have to change this into second form of verb. So what we can write here? My father took. Now took is the simple past of take. So my father took me to a movie last week. Okay, so exercise I am writing here. Exercise B, number 2, It is took. Okay. Now one more we will do here. Number 7, when the teacher was teaching, a bird dashed into the classroom. Okay, and in the bracket it is given there here fly. So what is the second form of fly? It is flew. Okay, so when the teacher was teaching, a bird flew into the classroom. So on number 7th we will write flew. Okay, now let's do one example of past continuous tense. Okay, come to page number 58. Okay, exercise number D, number 1. Here, exercise number D, number 1. It is Rakesh dash to Madhu when it started raining. So here we are talking about past continuous tense. And what is the structure of past continuous tense? Was, were with first form of verb and ing. So here talk is given here. So first observe the subject. Here subject is singular Rakesh. So we will use here was. Okay, because for singular subject we have to use was, first form of verb ing. So it talk will change into was talking. So we'll write here was talking. Okay. Now one more we will do with plural subject. So come to number 3, the boys. Here the boys, it is with plural subject, and for plural subject in past continuous tense we will use were. So the boys were studying maths last evening. Here again you can see that last evening is given here, so we can say that this sentence is in past. So study will change into were studying. Okay, it is number 3, were studying. Okay, now I hope past tense is also very clear to you all. Let's move to future tense. Okay, let's start with chapter number 14, future tense. Open your books on page number 59, future tense. Now when to use future tense? We use future tense when we are talking about some actions which are going to take place in future. Okay. Now, future tense is used to talk about actions that are expected to take place in the future. And for future tense, you have to use will for every subject, whether the subject is singular, whether the subject is plural, or the subject is I. You have to use will with first form of verb. Okay, let's see with some examples. Okay, number 1. You will win the race. Okay, here in this sentence we are talking about future. Okay, you will win the race. Okay, we are expecting that he will win. So here we have written you will win the race. Okay, now let's take another example. I will see you later. Okay, now again as you can see here we have used will with first form of verb. I will see you later. So we are talking about near future, we are talking about future tense. Okay, so whenever there is will with first form of verb in the sentence, it is very clear that it is future tense. Moving to sentence number or example number 3. She will go to Mumbai next week. Okay, now again Here we are using will go. We are expecting that she will go to Mumbai next week. We are talking about future. Okay. So again we have used here will with first form of verb. Now one more example I am giving you. Okay. With plural subject. They will get a certificate tomorrow. They will get a certificate tomorrow. Again we are using here will get. Okay, so we are talking about tomorrow. Okay, we are talking about future. So what we have used here? Will get. So whenever there is will in the sentence with the first form of verb, whether the subject is you, whether the subject is I, whether the subject is singular, whether the subject is plural, you have to use will with first form of verb. Okay, now structure will be like, okay, here I am writing structure of future tense. So subject, any subject, you, I, singular, plural, plus will with first form of verb plus rest of the sentence. This is the structure for future tense. Now let's do some examples from your book. Okay. Now open page number 59, exercise number A. Exercise number A. Now number 3, the table dash if you sit on it. Okay, so in bracket break is given there. Now we have to make it a sentence of future tense. So what we will do? We will add will to break. So it will become the table will break if you sit on it. Okay, so number 3 will break. Okay, now moving to one more example, number 8. Hassan says that he dash a cricketer when he grows up. Now in bracket be verb is given there, but again with be verb we have to use only will to make it a future tense sentence. Hassan says that he will be a cricketer when he grows up. So sentence will be like will be. Okay, now one more sentence I am going to do it for you. Okay, on page number 60, exercise number C. We'll take example from exercise number C. Okay, number 1. Now here a sentence is given in simple past. Just see, Romit went to watch a movie. Now this sentence is in simple past because went is simple past form of go. Now we have to change this sentence is in future tense. So what we will do? We will change this went to future tense, and for that we have to add will and first form of verb of went will go to this sentence. Okay, so it will become Romit will go to watch a movie. So it will become will go. Okay, now I think everything is very clear to you all, present tense, past tense and future tense. But still if you have any doubt, we'll discuss in your live class. So work hard. Till then, bye-bye. Have a wonderful time.